Penny with Sage Butterfly design. Wow, can you believe it's already May? I was going to say March. Yeah, May 9th. Where in the world did a month go? It's already almost halfway. I'm like, my stitching has not been what it usually is. Too many trips, too many visitors, too much going on. And that's okay. There's months like that, right? So we move on with it. This morning, Bo had grooming. I'm going to put a picture in here. It is like the most adorable picture ever. Last month when he was groomed, the groomer was telling me about how they put the head, what do they call it? Ear band? Yeah, an ear band. Or ear hood. That's what she calls it, an ear hood. And they put it on his head to keep the blow dryer from going into his ears. And I was like, I have to have that picture. So this month, when she came today, I was like, I have to have that picture. You better send it to me. It is the most adorable thing ever. Oh my gosh. I want to grab his little nose and just kiss it. It's so cute. Okay. And then I wanted to share this picture real quick as well. And the other day, he was sitting there at the door and the squirrel came up and was like right there. Actually, the squirrels come all the way up to the door because he'll just sit there and he doesn't like jump or bark or anything. He'll just sit there and look at them, and they'll look up at him and flip their little tail and he'll just look at them, and it's so funny. So I wanted to share those two with you. I'll have more photos and videos at the end for those that are interested. Okay, so on Wednesday I had an elopement that I still need to edit the photos for. Thursday I had drove 3 hours to go get Mom, and then 3 hours back. So I was on the road all day. Friday, Mom and I shopped and wandered around. We had a good time. Just, whatever in it. Saturday, we went to the theater and we saw the Book of Mormon. Sunday was Mom's birthday. She's 74. And she wanted to go to the Asian market and get some Chinese food. So we did that. And then we went, and she wanted to go to a place called Jack's Cosmic Dogs. And they make unique hot dogs. They put, chili and cheese and coleslaw and different things on it. And she's like, I want to go to the hot dog place. So we took her to the hot dog place where she wanted to go for her birthday, was a hot dog place. And my husband also made some smoked barbecue, because she said she hadn't had smoked barbecue in like 3 years, since my stepfather had passed on. So she had fun and everything. She's like, I'm having a great time, but I would just kind of want to go home. And I'm like, I was going to take you home Tuesday after the groomer. Yeah. And she's all like, no, I think I'm ready to go home now. Okay, Mom. So Sunday after we ate, I took her home. Spent time with her, of course, Sunday night. And then Monday morning, there's a grocery store that she likes that does different vegetables and stuff. And vegetables have been like horrible here at our grocery stores, so I bought vegetables too. But she asked me to take her there because it's a little bit further away from her home than she's comfortable driving. So I'm like, sure. So I took her to the grocery, and then I went and saw Dad, and he's doing all right. He's still hanging in there. It's a slowly deteriorating disease. There's nothing we can do about it. So, but is what it is. As I went through, I found out that I did have quite a few whips, even though I was like, I don't think I really stitched much of anything. So let's hit the whips. First one I have on here is the Lavender Mist. Let me get this out for you so you can see it. I know you've seen it a million times by now. This is the Teresa Made Me Do It Sal. This is a Miribilia 32 count Aurora with the called for DMC. Aurora is the name of the fabric that I am using. And don't get too excited. I got from all of that done. I got that streak of color, that color block. My goal is to get, right here's the end of the page of that page. I told you I had that piece of page right here. So from here all through here, and this is pretty much full coverage at this point in the design. So to get that much done in May, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna try, but yeah, that might be a failure, but we'll just keep trucking along on that one. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I like how the colors are kind of like blocked out for me to do that way and then figure, okay, I'm done with it. But I don't know if I'm gonna get done with it or not, but that section that I want to get done with, but it's always next month we'll get done. All right, next pattern is Freebie. You guys have seen this a few times. Get it without a glare for you. The All-American Freebie by Silver Creek Samplers. And I am trucking along. Well, let me get that thread out of the way, Penny. I stopped stitching midway through the border there, and that was my live thread, my working thread there. So this is the Silver Creek Samplers 18 count Fabric Flair Patriotic. I am using 1 strand of the called for Weeks Dye Works, and it's cute. It's coming right along. I like it. I prefer the 2 threads though. I was following the direction and doing the one thing. I know it doesn't look bad on camera, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look as full and fluffy and bright as I usually have my stitching. So yeah, but all in all, I'm happy. I'm not going to stitch it over, that's for sure. And it'll still be a cute pillow or flat fold, whatever I decide to do with it. I haven't decided that yet either. But I see it in the camera, so I'm going to just address it because I don't want you guys to think this was a puppy scratch. He jumped up on me and scratched me. This was about 4 or 5 days ago, so now it's just looking really icky. So I apologize for that. And it's hot outside. It's 90 today. 90. We went from like 60s, high 60s, low 70s to boom, 90. It's like, can we have some 80s in there? Come on, you're killing me. But next one is Beachy Mood by the Cricket Collection. Here it is. And I did change out the colors of the beach words, but I've left all of the motifs the way they're supposed to be. And another floating working thread. Here's where I'm at. So I got the A done. It's kind of behind everything. The C was done. I had this done and part of the shell last one you saw it. So I finished the conch shell. I started on the sailboat, and I had the outline of the H done here. This way I can fill it in as needed. And the color that was right here in a sailboat is actually the tail of the seagull. So I got a little piece of the seagull tail done right there. But yeah, this will be fill-in work. But I'm trying to get me a couple of fill-in spots to where I can just watch some TV and just fill in mindlessly or catch up on my floss tubes. Because I'm a bit behind on my floss tubes. But I'm trying to get some fill-in spots, so I can just grab them and go. All right, next up is Summertime, which I also call Bloom for some unknown reason. Well, it's not in the title anywhere, and that is this one. And last week we were last video, about how these yellow butterflies just don't show up and how I was going to do something different with those. And I decided what I'm doing. So yay me. And here's where I'm at. So last time you saw it, I had just this flower done. I had all of this done in this flower, and I've gotten the leaves here, the extra blooms and leaves. So I've got all of that completed. So I've just got some border work to do here, but I'd used all that. Even though it's a different shade of green, I had just done all of this green, and I was like, yeah, I can't look at green anymore to do the border. So I stopped. But so I've got the green border here to do with all of that, and then the butterflies, and that's all that's left. It was my goal to get this finished by the end of the month. It's still obtainable. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it is obtainable. And the colors I picked out for my butterfly, let me show you these. I picked out, you read it here, Celebration, Weeks Dye Works. So it's still got some of the yellow to pull out for that other flower. I wanted to get some pinks, some purples, and it's got kind of a bluish tinge in there to kind of go with that flower. So I thought that was perfect. And then the other butterfly, I'm gonna have two different butterflies. And the other butterfly is gonna be Blue Aster by Weeks Dye Works. And again, with this one, you can see it's got the pinks and the blue and some purple. So I thought that these two butterflies wouldn't clash too much. They kind of complement each other. And they go with this as well. So that's how I'm going to do my butterflies instead of with that yellow, because the yellow just was not going to work. So we have those plans, and that's still obtainable. Well, Freebie is supposed to be finished by the end of the month too, and that's obtainable, I think. There's not too much of that one left either. And I worked on the Lily of the Valley, which is this one. I was working on this bottom border here. And dropping threads all over. There we go. Okay, so here, another working thread. Here is where I'm at, and this is done on 32 count platinum Lagana, and this is a Christmas gift for my mother-in-law. And I finished the blooms. I had this border done here, so I finished and I did one flower, so I did the other flowers, and then I started on the bird. So this is the start of the bird. And the only thing that I had for May for this one was just to start it. So it started. So I completed that goal. One goal down, right? This one here is also just a start. So again, I don't have any goals on it either. But this one is the Crab Dance by Tiny Motorist. And I am stitching that on 18 count dirty. And I'm doing 2 over 1, and I love the coverage so much better. And last time you saw it, I just had the border done. So I put in a starfish, a little whatever that is, some seaweed, seashell, fishy. And that covers just about all of the colors in the palette. And I think that is just beautiful. These are the colors of the crab. So the majority of that will be these colors, but these colors I just think are popping so well and look so good that I'm like, awesome. Really liking that. This next one is another stitch along, and all I had written down for this one was to start it so I could accomplish this one. Any of these easy ones I did. But this is Honey Fair. I know I showed you last time that I had started it at the end of my last trip. And here's where I got to. That huge hive is coming right along. And this is being stitched on 16 count Blueberry Milkshake by Grace Notes Fabric. And I am stitching with the called for fancy flosses. All right, and the last one is the one I was stitching on this morning, which is Autumn Bee. And I finished filling in these things, little design, and then I took and did the outline of the button. So all I have to do is fill it in. And I'm loving the variegation of this. Look at this threads variegation. That is so nice. So, and again, I've got another working thread here because that's part of the fill-in. So I'll be filling that in. So another one of those, just grab it and start filling it in. And this is being done on 18 count raw by Stitched Modern. And I'm using the 2 threads. So it actually, with the dinky dies that it came with. But yeah, with the 2 threads, I think it looks so much better than the other one with the 1 thread. So yeah. Okay, so I had all these plans for all these starts, right? Yeah, I didn't start any this week. It was enough to just keep up with those. And almost all of those are Aida. There was only one, and that was Lily. I told Mom, I'm tired of looking at Aida. I've got to look at some linen for a few minutes. And I stitched up just a little bit on the Lily of the Valley. So I'm pretty much planning on probably stitching linen for the rest of this week, just because I've had enough Aida, and they've had enough attention. So I need to do some of my starts. I need to do that I had planned for this month. I need to work on my other whips and get them where they're supposed to be, and not stress out about my May goals, because you know what, if they don't happen, it's okay. No cross stitch police, no whatever, and maybe I'll have more time next month or whatever. Life is life, and we move on. So no starts for Maynia, but I do plan to start 1 or 2 this week. For haul, I have a little bit. The first one is the most exciting, so I'll start with it. So Kim Murphy, that one Stitcher 171, she so sweetly sent me a birthday present. Oh my gosh, I was so floored by it. Look at this card. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. And with it, she sent me Strawberry Fair. So now I have the strawberry pattern to go with the honey one. So that's so cute. I'm so excited about that. And she also sent me, I'll just show you, 3 of the week's die works that I did not have. Yay! So last video I told you I got the D through G's, so I can add these to those because I have not put them on the things. I also got, I didn't bring it over here, I showed them to you before, the little labels that I put on the floss drops that I've been putting them on. I did get the labels in the mail this week. So, well, actually I got it, I think it was Friday. I thought about doing that and I was like, eh. So I'll get that done this week. I want to get my flosses done and get them on the rings that I bought. So yeah, so I'm all excited about that. But this was, so I'll add these to that pile, but I wanted to keep them separate so I could show you, because that was just so sweet of her. And I already thanked her by text, but a public thank you again. That was just awesome. I never get surprises. My husband and I have been together for like 15 years, and he's just like, just go get what you want. It's like, just want to like a surprise. And my mom's like, I didn't know what you wanted, so I didn't get you anything. And I'm like, I don't need anything, Mom. I mean, Mom don't need to get me anything. She's on fixed income and all that, you know. But I'm like, oh, I never get any surprises. And so to get a birthday surprise like that in the mail was just, I loved it. Thank you so much. Well, I did get another surprise, kind of. I mean, obviously, I knew it was coming. I got the new summer from that quarter shop. And let me show you the package. I'll just keep it cute like that for now. Came, of course, with the threads, the finishing cloth, the pine board 28 count. I guess I didn't pull it out. There it is. There it is. The little keychain. And of course the pattern. So here is the summer pattern. like the spring pattern. It's got different flowers on it. But other than that, it's just like the spring pattern. I'm having an issue, personally, it's my own personal issue, with these designs that are just like repeat, 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 and all they do is change the colorway, maybe change a flower. So instead of it being a pink flower, it's now looks more like a sunflower. Here's spring. Here's summer. Make sure I put both in there so you can see them both. And they're like identical. I understand having things the same size so they can obviously fit in the same holder, and that's fine. But why do they have to be the same design? I already looked at this one for 3 months. Why would I want to look at the same thing for another 3 months? They don't have to match, because this one is spring, you put it away, you pull out summer. So why isn't it a different pattern? So I'm not happy with it. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. It's not like, oh, I don't like the pattern. It's what I don't like the same thing every time. I want to see something different. I would have liked to not been houses. Maybe it'd be a beach scene up underneath summer, or there's like no flag. There's nothing patriotic on there. That's part of summer. Maybe a flag on the beach. I don't know, but something different. So I'm like, oh great, I already canceled it, by the way. I went on and canceled it last night. I was like, done. So because I figure fall is just going to say autumn or fall, and it's going to have some pumpkins or something. It's going to be the same thing, 3 houses with a pumpkin on it or something stupid like that. I don't want to do 3 houses pattern over and over and over again. And I guess I should have known better, because of course they've got the ride the bike series, and every single one of them have a bike, and they've got the, you know, trucking along, and all of them have trucks. But this was supposed to be a seasonal one, not they got this new one that's weigh in or something, and every single one of them are on a scale. No, do something different. Why does it all have to be the same? Because you're only going to have one out at a time. I don't know. That's my own personal thing. And so I'm not happy with it. It'll probably go as a giveaway. I'll keep the fabric out of it at least, but $55 for fabric, maybe the bag. The flosses are colors I already have. So I'm not very happy with it at all. I did cancel it. I'm going to contact Fat Quarter Shop and see if they possibly will let me return it, because I'm not happy with it at all. And $55 for a cheap bag and some fabric, which I don't even know if I'll keep the bag. I might just keep the fabric. So $55 for a small piece of fabric is ridiculous, because I don't like the pattern. I don't like it being the same thing every single time. That's just not me. So the last thing I did, the idea of having to stitch 3 houses again and basically stitch the whole thing again with just some different colors, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. So that was my soapbox, I guess. My Patoki stand is in New York, so it's at least in our country now. So hopefully I get it by the end of the month. That would be awesome. They shipped it out the end of April, the 26th of April. So it's already in New York. So hopefully I should have it by the end of the month. So I'm excited to have that. That is my stitching update. I am about to switch into life and talk about how I'm changing my office around and things like that. So if you're not interested, I understand, and I hope you're having a great spring and not 90-degree weathers right off the bat. Let me know what how your stitching plans are going, since mine are not going as well as I would like, but it'll all come around, right? Otherwise, but by all means, enjoy your spring weather and everything. Leave me a comment, and those that are staying, I'll move on to the next. So I had come home from my trip, and I was only home for 2 days, and then I went and got Mom, and then she was here for 5. So that obviously took up a lot of my time. I got several elopements later this week. I've got one Thursday evening. I've got a sunset on the beach on Thursday, and then I've got 2 on Saturday, so it's not too awful. Definitely looking forward to just Sunday stitch time with nobody bothering me. Well, I am married. Husband might bother me. He knows better. He knows he best give me some stitch time. I'm starting to settle back into my routine. I cleaned the house today while I was getting groomed because it's so hard to do my floors with the puppy around because he wants to help and he's not much help. I tried to make the bed and he wants to jump on it. And yeah, the bed's not so bad though because I can just shut the door and keep him on the outside. He'll complain about it, but at least I can get done when I need to. But trying to do the floors in the kitchen, the living room, the front room, it's hard to get all of those rooms done with help. So it was nice to be able to, he's out there, and my husband took his work outside on the porch, so I didn't have to worry about the vacuum cleaner bothering him on calls. So yes, I got my house cleaned, I got laundry caught up. So just kind of that making me feel more like I'm okay, you're home now, back into the routine of things. So that was nice. I mentioned it before, I'm so far behind on Flosstube. I've got to catch that up. I look at my May plan, feel far behind, and it's like, stop. There's time for it yet. I definitely want to take some time. I was hoping maybe this afternoon, but I guess we have to go to the bank because my stupid bank doesn't do everything online. Our personal bank, I guess. We went with them when we, for one of our home mortgages, and then we refinanced and they weren't. But in the meantime, I had already set up my son's account with them. Mom's got an account with them. We've got our accounts kind of split up to where it's like our account and then my husband's account and my account, to where it's like we can spend out of those accounts without being picked upon. And then the main account is where we, go out to eat, pay all of our bills, all that kind of stuff. But we've got our own personal accounts to where I'm not sitting telling my husband, you spent how much on what? Or he's doing that to me because it's like, So we have our personal accounts that we can go in and out of for anything that we want. And then we've got our joint account, which is all the bills and everything. But it keeps life simple. Well, not simple, but keeps life calm. No arguments. It solves argument problem. How about that? So we have those, and it's like if it wasn't for all these things, and Mom's account is on there, her savings account is on there, and I can kind of keep an eye on her as far as if she needs extra money, because like I said, she's on a fixed income, so if I need to throw some extra money into her account for groceries or whatever, I can, or whatever. So if it wasn't for that, I'd be out of that bank, let me tell you, because they don't do wire transfers online. My business account is Capital One, and I love it. I can do everything online. When I bought my car, I was just like, wire transfer, boom, done. Everything is online. And this one, I'm like searching everywhere, and I'm like, I can't find a wire transfer, and I'm getting mad. I am not a telephone person. I do not like to be on the telephone. Unless I'm talking to somebody I know, it's fine. Anything other than that, I'm like, I don't like it at all. So I avoid the telephone, and I had to call them and say, how do I do a wire transfer online? Oh, you can't. You have to go into the branch. Why can't I do this online? So we have to go into the bank to do a wire transfer. Not happy about that. I'm like, that's taking up stitch time, people. You're going to make me leave the house, go to the bank. I could have pushed 5 buttons and had it done myself. And yet you're making me go to the bank and do this crap. So, not happy with that. So, probably not this afternoon, but one day this week, or at the latest Sunday, I'm going to take some time on that round robin, that long dog sampler. I am wanting to dive into that, but I want to have time to do it. I want time to really concentrate, because it's teeny tiny stitches with it being 1/1. So I want to be able to really take my time and really look at it and concentrate on it. So I need time to do that without distractions. I thought a first thing in the morning coffee stitch. So yeah, so update on my office. I'm going to insert some pictures here. This is the Murphy chest bed that I'm getting, and I'll be getting that between the 11th and 16th of this month. So here in the next week I should have it, and I'm putting a picture on it with it like as a chest as well as the bed made out. And the chest part, I'm going to be able to use the top of that to do finishing work, to do my flowers, because right now I make bouquets for work, for my elopement business, and I have to drag bases out of the closet. I have to grab I've got a little container that has all of my stitching stuff, the floral tape, the pins, the special snips, the ribbons, all of that kind of stuff is in one container, and I have to carry that out to the dining room table. And if I'm finishing, I've got to take all that stuff out. So I'm looking forward to having that in here, that I can use that surface for that. So I'm excited about that. And I'm going to enter a little video right here. It's just a little 2-minute video where I was walking around my office so you can see the whole thing, because I know you only see a piece of it. So I did go ahead and take a video of it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in right here. Just going to do a quick video of my office before I make the changes with the big bed with bow on it. And as I'm explaining what I'm wanting to do with this room, you can see how it's set up. We've got this big, huge window there. It's kind of blocking that whole wall. It's nice for natural light, but it sucks because, well, it doesn't open or anything, so that kind of sucks too. But it sucks because like that much wall space is taken up. Everything has to be, you can't put anything tall on that wall. It has to be the bedside or lower. My desk, the window, excuse this mess, the printer, that's my dresser with some clothes and stuff in it that I want to get rid of. This is the area I'm talking about when I'm talking about that. Like I said, I just wanted to give a quick overview of what the office looks like. I know you only see a piece of it behind me when I'm sitting at the desk. That's the closet. And then this is the gray cabinet. I know you can see a piece of it. And in, sorry for the reach, in the gray cabinet, that's where I'm keeping a bunch of the stuff. There's my project bags, and patterns are in that marble case. And then these from here over are whips. These are my kitted items here, some specialty threads, beads, things like that, some kits, and just some kind of notions and stuff down there. And there's a dragon hiding back there, a cross-stitch dragon. And this is my Beasley drawer with, just randomly open up one, all of those floss straps that I've been showing you and how they go into the drawer. And up here, I was collecting fairies for a while. So as you see, I've got 3 shelves full of fairies. So when I talk about changing this up, you'll know what I'm talking about there too. And of course, from my desk, you always see this blank wall. Well, there's some, obviously, pictures and cross stitch on it. And we'll finish with the bow. Say bye, bow. So the storage cabinet, I know in my last video I was telling you I found out it was called a dream box. And no, it is not any kind of Facebook scam, so hey, win. But as you see, I'm putting a picture in here. As you see, it is like so big, and I can't put it on the window. The only wall I've got big enough in this office, as you saw from the little video, is where the window is, and it would block that window because it's too tall. So I'm like, and wherever else I could try to finagle a spot for it, I was thinking maybe the wall has those pictures that's right there behind me. So again, maybe that wall. Then I look at it, and it is 3 feet. When it's folded up, it's 3 feet thick. and then it like folds out and then folds back. I'm like, oh, that like takes up a lot of space. And I'm like, mm-mm. So then I started looking at another storage cabinet that had a fold out desk. So I'll put that picture in here. And I was excited about this. I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. Maybe I'll get something like this. And that way I can have the desk that slides out, and I can get a sewing machine and I can sew, and I can have everything kind of closed away. Perfect. And then I started thinking about it more, and I sat in here and looked, and I'm like, why don't I just take I'll call it the fairy cabinet because it's got all my fairies up on it, which I know I showed you in the video. It's got all those fairies up in there. Like, why don't I just take that? The bottom's already, my finger can't turn that way. The bottom, as I showed you, already has all kinds of stuff in it. So why don't I get some pretty boxes and put them up there on the top? And that way I could have like a storage box, a pretty storage box. I've got some pretty storage box like that one down there. And then have like maybe a fairy and then like another storage box or whatever, and just kind of like, and that way I could get some of the stuff out of the closet and get it there, and then I'll have more room in the closet for other things. And I was like, that could work. Keep the fairies I want. I've got too many fairies in there. Some of them I could care less about, so it's like, let's just get rid of them. Where the dresser is, and like I said, I know you saw that on the video, where the dresser is, I want to take that and the bed, the one that's right behind me now, is going to go to my mother's house, because there's a spare room there that I use, and we're going to put that in there, and that way when Jimmy comes with me to Mom's, we both have a place to stay, because right now there's just a twin bed in there. So that's going to go. So that's going to go. But I still need something for my printer, and I want to put a TV in here. So I need to get some kind of like a small cabinet that's lower, and then I can then put my TV on it. And I got a TV in our bedroom that we never watch, so I'm going to put that in here. And I'm going to put a picture in here of the chair that's in my living room that I'm going to put in here so I can have a stitchy spot. How all this is going to come together, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about maybe a folding table to put that sewing machine on. Instead of buying a cabinet with a table that comes out, I'm going to use this one and maybe get a folding table. And I'm like, now I've gotten it down to where the only thing I'm buying besides the Murphy bed that I've already bought is just a small cabinet, which would be about the size of this one without the top. So I just want that. It is so hard to point at things on film. It's the same size of this, but without the topper. And that way I can have my printer on it, have the TV on it. The printer might not fit on it. I don't know. The printer might end up on my desk. I don't know. My desk might get moved around some. I'm not sure the floor plan of all of this happening, but that's kind of the idea. And then I was thinking I might get a fold-up table, and then I can have stuff for the sewing machine, because I do want to get a sewing machine to do the sewing finishes and maybe do some other things with it. So I was thinking I might get a fold-up table, and I was like, I've got plenty of room right here on my desk. My computer barely takes up any room over there. I'd have plenty of room. I could just, if I'm going to take it out of wherever it's stored and put it on a folding table, why don't I just put it on my desk and use it? My desk is sturdy. I don't have to worry about it being like, you know, some of those fold-up tables are like not sturdy. This is. So I'm like, there we go. So I'm still working on all the details. I'm still working it out. I'm still getting things in, still doing things. So I will keep you informed on that, and obviously show you pictures along the way. But it's turning out to where it's not going to cost me too much money to transform this room. So that's awesome. All right, so let's switch over to Bo. Bo's always more fun, right? Bought Bo this cute little ball. Well, it's not little, it's about this big. And I'll put a picture of it here with him with it. And there's a small ball inside of that. And so it's like a ball in a ball. And there's one hole that's big enough for the ball to come out of. And he was so proud of himself when he figured out which one it was. And so here's the picture of that. And So once he got the ball out, he broke it because it was cheap. It was only $3.99 for this toy. So he ended up squishing the ball, like, and like, so the little tennis ball is now like a flat pancake thing. So I'm like, okay, we'll put Mr. Duck in there. So I put his little duck in there, and it was hysterical trying to watch him try to get the duck out next. So I definitely got my $4 worth of entertainment. So I'll put a video in of that as well as video of some outside with his soccer balls and his stick. Always a stick. But yeah, he's got his different size soccer balls, and I show him kind of running around playing with them and stuff like that. So hope you enjoy the videos, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye. What you got, Bo? You got a ball with a ball in it? We can't get that ball out. Stuck. Goodness. Who can do it? Welcome to the Bo Hour. We're going to see what we can get Bo to play with today. Not the stick. You ready for the ball? You ready for the ball? Not the stick? No, he might be going after that stick again. Let's try Frisbee. Nope, don't want the Frisbee. Aha! I beat you to it. I got the stick. Haha. I didn't want the stick. You ready? Okay, here it goes. We have all these toys all over the yard, and we can't play with any of them. We want the stick. The stick. You ready? So this is his ball pile. He's bringing me back one now. As you see, he's got plenty of soccer balls. That's the big soccer ball, the small one, and 2 medium ones. And what is he giving me? Let's see. Oh, it's one of his footballs. Okay. You ready? The stick got put away, so now he don't play. Is it Jimmy kicking the ball? Want me to kick it? That's his small pink ball. You ready?